Hi everyone, welcome to College Knowledge with Haruka. Well, look at the date. You are probably feeling a sense of relief because you have finished your final exams, your final projects, and having a little bit of a breather right now as not spring, winter break has just started. But if you are a high school senior, you are probably still thinking about the last of your college applications because this is typically the time when the supplemental essays are being worked on for some of the bigger schools. What are supplemental essays anyway? Let me just backtrack a little bit. If you are applying to schools other than the UCs and the CSUs, many of the schools will use the common application. And most of those schools, 800 plus of them, will require you to complete an essay about 650 words. Some schools will require a supplemental essay. Not all schools, but many, particularly the most selective ones. So we're talking about schools like Stanford, the Ivy League schools, liberal arts colleges, say Jesuit schools, as well as some of the more selective public state schools, like University of Washington or University of Michigan, etc. So it's a long list. And some of the supplemental essay prompts are quite challenging. I'll give you some examples. All right, so Stanford University, they ask for a bunch of short essays and short word essays, including a written note to your future roommate. Cornell University has another approach. Cornell University has 7 colleges and schools within the university, right? So there's like engineering, arts and sciences, agriculture and life science, human ecology, industrial labor relations, uh, architecture, and hotel. So if you are applying to any of those schools, you have to find the specific prompt that corresponds with it and answer accordingly. Let's say the like Columbia University. That's a school with a lot of reading, so they want to make sure that you are capable of it. They will actually ask you to list all the books you've read, websites that you enjoy, podcasts that you listen to, and journals that you've read, right? Um, and probably the most insanely creative and challenging of all the essays would be University of Chicago. So that one, if you're curious, you just go look for that yourself and consider that entertainment. Um, and, if you are a junior out there and you're considering University of Chicago for your list, well, start planning now. Anyway, but mercifully, most of the supplemental essays are much easier, and the most common one is called Why Us. So that's what I want to talk about today, how to tackle the Why Us supplemental essay. All right, so 3 things I'm going to suggest. First, to do your research. Second, to show your academic and cultural fit. And third, to avoid common mistakes. All right, number 1, do your research. The last thing you want to do at a school is to say things like, oh, I want to go to your school because you're very famous and you're very highly ranked and I'm gonna, you're gonna help me get a job, right? Really, what you want to do is dig a little bit deeper than that. So for example, if you are interested in the school, go to the website, do your reading, read up on the courses that are offered in your potential major. If you're not sure of the majors, this is a good opportunity to look at the course descriptions, the titles, the 400 level classes, not just like Biology 101, which is going to be pretty much the same at different schools, but at these universities, they have different professors and they have their different areas of expertise. So look into that. In addition to the websites, you can look at resources like the Fisk Guide to Colleges or a website called Unigo, Unigo, which is almost like a Yelp for colleges, and you can read up about different students' comments, the good, the bad, and the stereotypes about the schools, and you'll get a good feel for it. Academic, you know, you're going to school for the academics, but you think about discover things like any special institutes, programs, departments that they may have, right? Like, for example, if they have a co op engineering or a um, special double majors are very much encouraged at schools like Northwestern, right? Other schools don't necessarily do that. Some of them may have more independent study programs, independent majors. So figure out what it is that you want in your college life and make sure that it is aligned to the university. Number two is to show your academic and cultural fit. So, as you're building your list, every school should be on your list for a good reason, right? And it should be based on three things always: academic fit, social fit, and financial fit. So you want to provide evidence based on what you've done in your past throughout high school and connect it with this evidence so that you know that it can happen in your future. So you want to connect your past with your future in that school. Uh, so, for example, I've had students who said, "Oh, I'm really interested in journalism, and I'm also an athlete, and I want to find a school that has both." So what we did was we looked at schools like the Pac-12 schools, that athletic conference, and figured out which schools offer journalism as a major, right? Because not every single school will have a strong journalism program. And so she picked University of Oregon and University of Utah, as well as a whole bunch of others, but those seem to have the most, those two programs were strengths. And that's how she was able to write in her essay about why she was a strong fit. Could be something else too: engineering and classical literature. Maybe that is a unusual combination, really, pretty disparate, right? Engineering and say classics or philosophy or um, foreign language or something. But that to me automatically calls like a place like Columbia, which has a core curriculum. And so that may be another example of showing the academic fit. Other things maybe if you're passionate about environment, right? You may discover that a place like University of Washington has an actual school of the environment, right? And you're interested in marine biology, so you find out that they actually have specific programs about that. So that's what's calling you to a specific school. You want to find evidence about evidence from your life as a high school student, academic as well as extracurricular, and connect it with your future at the school. All right. Number three, finding just avoiding the common mistakes. So the last thing you want to do is just copy and paste the name of the school with every single supplemental essay, because the whole purpose of a supplemental essay is to customize. So don't just cover up like one word and just resend the essay. Really take the moment to uh, find the quirkiness in you and the quirkiness of the university and find that match. Pay attention to details, like don't get the wrong mascot, right? Like, the University of Oregon has the Ducks and Oregon State has the Beavers. Don't mix them up, because that's a real bad faux pas. And don't call them with the wrong nickname as well, right? It's sort of like I'm from New York, and when New Yorkers say, "Oh, how are things in Frisco?" It kind of like, ooh, it makes me cringe, right? Because no one calls San Francisco Frisco out here. So don't make a mistake like that, right? And so just double check, and you should be on your way. So again, those three things are: first, do your research, Number two is to show your academic and social cultural fit. And then three, to avoid the common mistakes. I hope that helps. If you found this video helpful, I hope you will like it and share it with some of your friends, particularly anybody who is college-bound high school student. You can also check out my YouTube channel, College Knowledge with Haruka, which now has more than 40 videos. And last but not least, I want to let you know that in January, I will be starting my college knowledge webinars, and there's going to be a subscription service, so monthly subscription service. Keep your eyes open so that you can get the details. I'll be sharing that at another time. And if I don't see you again, I want to wish everybody a happy and healthy holiday. Take care.